right, this video is to help you work through the study guide. Please work the problems first and then come here to check. Or if you're not sure what to do, come here to check, but you need to know how to do these problems. So don't just copy the answers, that will not help you. Number 1, for the power 5 to the third power, identify the base and the exponent. The base is 5 and the exponent is 3. That means 5 3 times. So if I expand that to repeated multiplication, it would be 5 times 5 times 5. Evaluate means to solve it. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. Pause when needed to work through the problems. Evaluate each numeric expression. 6 times 4 squared would be 6 times 4 times 4. 6 times 4 is 24 times 4 would be 96. I can solve that right here. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 96. 60 minus 56 divided by 2 to the third power. Do not forget order of operations. Order of operations says I have to do exponents or parentheses first, there are none, then exponents, then multiplication and division, and then subtraction. So for this problem, I'm going to start with the exponent. 60 minus 56 divided by 2 times 2 times 2 would be 8. 60 minus 56 divided by 8 is 7. So your answer would be 53. Brandon Soccer League has 8 teams. Each team has an equal number of players. How many players are there on each team if 96 players sign up for the league? So if there are 96 players and 8 teams, I'm going to divide. So there would be 12 players on each team. Do not forget to label. Do not erase your work. I'm erasing because I didn't have room to write it. If each team has 9 players, how many players signed up for the league? So now I need to go backwards. I know that there are 8. Sorry, this one told me I had 8 players. This one's telling me I have 9 players on each team. That one said I had 8 teams. This one I had to divide. This one I'm going to have to also divide because I want to know now how many Sorry, I'm not. There are 8 teams with 9 players on each team. So I'm going to multiply 9 times 8, 72 players signed up for the league. To solve that, I had to actually go back and reread this and make sure I understood the question, because every time the 8 is going to be a constant. The 8 will always be. There's always 8 teams. They just are splitting up the players onto those 8 teams. So write an expression to describe the total number of players in the league. Given the number of players on each team, let T represent the number of players on each team. So we know that there are 8 teams. That's the constant. And I know that I'm going to take 8 times T, because that's the number of players, and that will equal my total number of players. So let T represent the number of players on each team. So that's the number of players. I'm going to do total number. I'm going to put people or players, P for that. So if I use this, I could fill in those numbers based on what I know. So the first one, I knew 96 players. So I would put 8 times something equals 96. That's how I solved that one. I have to divide by 8, and I have to divide by 8, which would give me 12. For this one, they told me that I had 9 players on each team, so I put the 9 in for the T, and then that would equal 72, which is what I got there. This one says evaluate the algebraic expression for the given value. So you have 2x minus 3, and they say x equals 7. So they're right beside each other, so I'm going to take 2 times 7, put that in for the x, minus 3. Then I'm just solving. 2 times 7 is 14, minus 3 equals 11. Make sure you are showing all of your work. Rewrite each algebraic expression with the few terms possible using the commutative and associative property. To do this, we just combine the like terms. So I have a 7x, a plus a 2x, so that would be 9x plus 13. For B, I have a 2x plus 8x, which would be 10x. And I also have a plus 5 and a plus 1, so that would be plus 6. Rewrite this expression using the distributive property. So if I have 2 times the quantity x plus 5, I need to distribute that 2. So 2 times x is 2x plus 2 times 5 is 10. That is your answer. For the expression 6x minus 2y plus 5, identify first the number of terms. 1, 2, 3. There are 3 terms. Then it says the coefficients. The coefficient is the number that comes before a variable. There's 2 variables, so there are 2 coefficients. And the coefficients are 6 and 2. No variable for this one, so no coefficient. Rewrite the expression, rewrite 9 times x minus 5 as the product of 2 factors. This is the one where you want to get x by itself, so isolate x. To do that, you have to divide by 9, which means you have to do that with the other terms as well. Then 9 goes on the outside of your parentheses, and you would have x minus 5/9. Oops. And that is it. Number 9, determine if they are equivalent. To do that, you would have the same answer for both of them, and they are giving me the x value. So for the first one, it is 3, 2 plus 2, because my x equals 2, plus 2 times 2, because again, I'm putting 2 in for that x. So I have to do multiplication or parentheses first. So I have 3 times 4 plus 2 times 2. I have to do multiplication before addition. So 3 plus 4 is 12, plus 2 times 2 is 4. My answer is 16. 5x plus 6 would be 5 times 2 plus 6 equals 10 plus 6, which is also 16. Now I'm using 3. 3 times x. Oops, what's my x? It equals 3. So I'm going to put 2 times 3 plus 2 plus 2 times x, which x is 3, parentheses first, 5. So 2 times 5 plus 2 times 3. So 10 plus 6 equals 16. So far, we're looking like they're all going to work. 5x, so 5 times 3 plus 6 would be 15 plus 6. Would be 21. I'm going to go back and double check, make sure I did this right, because I'm coming up with one that equals something different. So if I put 3 in for x, oh, what did I do wrong? There's a 3 on the outside there, so I'm going to go back and redo this one. And put 3 times 3 plus 2 plus 2 times 3. So that would be 9 plus 6. Oh my goodness. Just like class. So this is 5. 3 times 5 plus 2 times 3, which would be 15 plus 6. So my answer is 21. Last one. Let's see if I have room. My number is 5. 3 times 5 plus 2 plus 2 times 5. So I do parentheses first. 3 times 7 plus 2 times 5. 21 plus 10 equals 31. Next one is, I'm going to draw a line. 5x, so 5 times, my number is 5, plus 6. So I have 21 plus 6. Oh my gosh. 25 plus 6. Equals 31. Just testing you, seeing if you're paying attention. Are these two expressions up here equivalent? Yes, they are. Because I get the same answer. 3 friends have their own cell phones. Brian has 4 more application programs on his phone than Henry has on his. Wes has 2 times more programs on his phone than Brian has on his. Let X represent the number of application programs Henry has. So Henry has X applications. Write an algebraic expression that represents the number of application programs on each friend's cell phone. We're not introducing any more new variables, so using what we know about Henry, we need to find Brian. So Brian has 4 more application programs than Henry. So Henry has X, Brian has 4 more, I'm adding 4 more. Wes has 2 times more programs than his friend Brian. Brian has X plus 4, so Wes has 2 times that amount. All 3 friends together simplified. So if I put this whole thing together, I'm going to have X plus 4 4 plus, I have to do the distributive property here, 2 times x, 2x, plus 2 times 8, sorry, 2 times 4, which is 8. Now I combine like terms. I have x plus 2x, which would equal 4x, plus I have 4 plus 8, 12. This would be our expression altogether. Use your expression from Part D to calculate the number of applications they have altogether if Henry has 5. So if x equals 5, we have 4 times 5 plus 12, which would be 20 plus 12, which is 32 programs. And that is it. Please bring any questions that you have to class.